All right, good evening and welcome to the Tuesday night live stream. Hope you guys have had a good week so far. Hope everything's well. We've been enjoying some nice weather here in Michigan. So we'll go ahead and we'll give it a few minutes here for some folks to roll in. And then we'll kind of go from there, do some announcements, kind of talk about the topic, and then talk about some other things going on outside in the barn with the barn cam. So I know Curtis is here, so we'll give it a few minutes for some other folks to join, and we'll go ahead and jump right into it. So it's like we got about 8 folks here or so. I know Corey's still probably going, so it'll be a minute. And also, I made a little bit of an error and made it a private stream and realized it a little bit too late. So, anyways, give it a second here, and we'll go ahead and jump into the topics and some other things like that. So, in the meanwhile, I did actually get the chance to go golfing this weekend. Sunday, I went Sunday. It was a little chilly, but had a great time. Walked 9 holes. Didn't play too bad for considering I was rusty and everything. So, hello Ed, how are you? Hello Dave. So yeah, so people are probably getting notified now. Like I said, I didn't do I forgot to make it public, and for some reason I scheduled it private. So I think people are going to come in a little bit late tonight. So it's been a busy past 5 or 6 days or so. So with that, I do want to make a quick announcement that next week there will not be a stream. I'll be on vacation in Florida, so we'll be taking a week off. I'll be kind of south of Tampa, in Bradenton. I might do some fish collecting, and from there, we'll see what else happens. So Dave says the video is super clear. Good. That's kind of what we're hoping for. So, I try to take, some level of pride in making, the video quality at least halfway decent. So that kind of warms my heart a little bit. So, yeah. So with that, I think one of the things I kind of ended up talking about, I guess, is kind of, I don't want to say like a reaction to Corey's stream, because that's not really how I want to put it. But I think I kind of enjoyed today's topic. So I actually do want to give my list of kind of where I find fish. I know Corey gave his. Mine's a little bit different. I think it's just kind of how I look for fish. With that being said, the item that I did put last on my list, I actually went to this weekend and actually found some pretty cool new stuff. So obviously you would check out all of these things, not just a couple. So with that, I think my first place to find fish would be Lumpy. I messed up and I made it private, so that was my fault. So I figured that might affect people coming in. So we'll go through the list real quick here. We've got Scott, Peplin, Davo, Skull, Lumpy Dog. If I haven't read your name, I got to figure out how to pull up the participants list. And I don't really. And Zen Ginger's here too. I should say that since she's my mod. So let me see if I use my skills here. All right, so we've got Davo, Ed's Aquatics, Lumpy Dog, New Local Austin, Peplin Creek, Scott Nowoselsky, Skull Aquatics, and the Zen Ginger are the participants list so far. So, all right, let's that. So back to like where I find the fish. So the first place where I really like to find fish is my local fish club, or my local fish club auctions. Now, local fish clubs, auctions, and swaps, I will say, my definition of local is kind of 3 to 4 hours away or so. So, something that I can get up in the morning and drive to. Maybe if it's like a 4-hour drive, say it's like the Cleveland area or like Akron or somewhere, I may go and spend the night at like a, rando Holiday Inn Express or something. But that's my first place to find fish. I usually kind of have my places where I like to go to hunt for like rare live bears and stuff. I kind of know which clubs to go to. There is one I kind of want to check out. And should have gone this weekend, but I didn't. It's Northwest Ohio. I think it's like Northwest Ohio Aquarium Society. It's in the Toledo area. And our speaker last week at the club, I know the members saw that video that came out Saturday, and then everyone else will see it this week. But we had a really good speaker at the Fish Club this week, and he's actually the Breeders' Award Chairman for the American Live Bear Association. So it was really cool to meet him. His name was Kevin Nevis. I actually sent him a video that I have of a fish with the a Gadaid with the umbilical cord with the fry on it. So he was really excited to see that. So I sent him that. He actually teaches at Bowling Green State University. So yeah. So that was a really good talk. Look forward to this video coming out on Sunday because that kind of shows some excerpts from his talk. If you're into that, definitely check that out. So Lumpy Dog said sleep in the parking lot of a Motel 6. No, I'm not doing that. I would do that in my younger days maybe, but I have a CPAP machine too, so that's sleeping in the car kind of died with that whole thing. So yeah, that's not my thing. And speaking of that, we're driving to Florida. That kind of is a thing you could do, sleep in the rest area or whatever. When I was a kid, we drove to Florida and we did it in like 24 hours, like the full straight through drive. I don't want the smoke. I usually ended up driving at night, and I don't think I could do it now. I don't know if I want to turn my daughter loose in the mountains of like Tennessee, at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So Select Pet said, yeah, he said he was speaking down in Knoxville, and he was bringing some really rare live bears down there too, which I didn't put the two together because I would have asked him for some stuff and I would have traded with him, but I kind of messed that up. So, hello, Alan, how are you? So that first one is kind of the local fish club. When you want to go to the local fish club auctions, that's really where I kind of find my bread and butter. The next one is Dan's Fish. Dan seems to be having quite a few decent rare live bears. Some of them you'll pay for, obviously, but Dan is another go-to for me. I really like going to see seeing Dan's Fish. So like I said, the shipping's always great with him. Always does well. So that's another go-to for me. Now that we're kind of pseudo back in the office, kind of, I got to be a little bit more strategic about it because before I could just order and do whatever. But yeah, so Dan's Fish is another one. The next one is kind of going to a convention. I know Corey brought this one up too. My favorites are like the ALA. The ALA convention is like my favorite place, convention-wise to go buy fish. But if I'll probably be looking at the Keystone Clash as well. Maybe I'll hit the OCA this year. We'll see. I'm not decided yet on the ALA. It's probably leaning towards the no right now, just kind of due to vacation time things. So Mad Cypress says, Mad Cypress LL says, love your channel. So I do appreciate the kind words. Really appreciate that. So it was, so I'm kind of on the fence with that one. Just with, daughter's graduation, there's a vacation day spent for that. There's open houses. There's a bunch of stuff going on. I mean, I get quite a few vacation days. I've been at where I work at now for 25 years, so I've accrued quite a few days. I think it's like 27. So like 27 vacation days. So I'm kind of on the fence with the ALA, just with, going to the Keystone Clash, Florida vacation. I want to spend some days, just kind of hanging out. Vacation days, like just kind of the random, kind of go rot or go to a golf course or go do something vacation days too. So we'll see how that works. But the ALA Fish Show is definitely a great place to where I like to buy fish, along with like Keystone Clash, OCA, and other kind of places like that. And then the last one actually I have on my list is the local fish store. Now, with that being said, I am going to show you some new things that I picked up at the local fish store this weekend. I actually went to 2 local fish stores this weekend, which is kind of a large undertaking for me. I usually don't go to the local fish stores a lot just because they're really not going to have what I'm looking for. I'm not being like disrespectful to them at all, but you know, most of them are not going to carry good ads with locations and stuff like the stuff that I really am kind of looking for, and like the niche stuff. So that's kind of why I don't go to the LFS. But that's kind, you know, maybe I should go a little bit more. I've been going a little bit more than I used to, kind of. But I've been going like 3-4 times a year basically. But this time, one of the owners of this particular LFS, he actually kind of talked to me at the club meeting. He's like, "Hey, I've got this and this at the fish store. You should probably come check it out." So I did, and I ended up buying some stuff. And then I won a gift card to another local fish store kind of in the area, and I ended up going to buy some fish food there. So I haven't been there in a very long time, so I went and checked that out as well. So so that's kind of like my kind of reaction, I guess, to the co-op video. With that, let's go ahead and kind of jump into the real topic that I kind of put on here, and that is the you should keep locations for your fish topic. So I've been kind of in a weird spot lately, fish-wise in general. I've been kind of like thinking that as a hobby we need to do a little bit better. If you watched last week's video, I kind of talked about we need to bag fish a little bit better. We need to take care of our animals better. I've been kind of on a kick with that lately, and this kind of ties in with that as well. So yeah, so we need to go ahead, and this one kind of was sparked by Saturday. I was watching a channel that had an auction on it, and basically, they had a good ad species. It was Amica splendens, and I asked if there was location information, and kind of the comment was, there was a couple of comments, but I don't know, like it was kind of like, I don't know why everyone cares about location anyway, sort of. It was sort of the vibe I got. I'm not quoting exactly, but that was sort of the vibe I got. So I kind of want to answer that question and kind of talk about why it's important, to keep the location info. So if you're dealing with fish like a Goodad, for example, if you're dealing with like, Ameca splendens is kind of common, but still, if you're dealing with Zoogeneticus tequila, which is, just got reintroduced back into the wild, for example. If you're dealing with a wild live bear that's endangered in the wild, you need to make sure to keep that population pure. So in the case it does not go in, in the case that they want to reintroduce it, you want to go ahead and have that pure line to be able to maybe add that fish back into the wild if it becomes extinct. So, I just mentioned Zoogeneticus tequila, and that's a perfect example of that, because they just reintroduced that fish into the wild, I think it was 3-ish years ago. And if people had not kept pure forms of that fish, they wouldn't be able to do that. So I think that's why it's important for, if you're looking at doing CARES fish, or if you're looking at, Goodad working group stuff or whatever, like if you're, dealing with wild fish, you need to keep that location information. And we talked about this when I was at the talk with Kevin. Some of the other live bear guys came out, and so I was just reading the comments here. So Select Pets says, if you see Mike bid at the Goodads at the rare fish auction at the ALA, there's no point to bid against him. He will always win. Yes and no. It depends on the fish. There's some that yes, and there is a point where I will stop, but it depends on what it is. So yeah, so Mutt's from Lumpy Dog's location is not a proper location. Yes, that is true. That was one of the other comments. He's like, where are they from? What's the location? Oh, it's in my basement. Like, I get it. I mean, he was being funny, and that's fine. Especially I'm with Goodad, just ask the Xenotocus. Yep. So Ed, who's another Goodad keeper, said people shouldn't look down their nose at things they don't understand. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were trying not to be. I don't know. I was trying to vibe. It was sort of a, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if they were. I'm trying to gauge that. It's hard to gauge like online, if you're, someone's vibe. But yeah, it was kind of like, why should we care? And that, that kind of struck a nerve a little. Like I said, I'm not throwing shade. I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone or anything like that. But yeah, it struck a nerve a little bit. Yeah, so Select Pet's exactly right. The tequilas reintroduced all came from hobbyists from the U.S. and U.K. That's correct. So yeah, I mean, we helped reintroduce that fish into the wild, and you could be the only person that has that fish. And there's a part of my talk, where I talk about that. Where I'm like, um, the most important thing that I want you to get out of the talk when I give the talk to clubs is, this is the most important thing, is to keep the location information for all the fish, to keep all the fish that all the information from the fish that you're keeping. Yeah, Ed probably knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I didn't think it's hard to read too, and like it was Saturday night, I was kind of tired, but be open to understanding. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Trout Goody and Zen are one of the few that really don't have a location information. Those are the ones they've kind of become like guppified per se. There's a couple lines I know of. Mine are kind of mutts. I know there's the Greg Sage line, and then there's one that's like the Zantuzzi morph as well. But yeah, I was trying to tell if they. I mean, I don't think they really did, but yeah, it's definitely something. Yeah, so like I said, I'm not trying to throw shade at them at all. It's no big. It's not really that big of a deal, but it did kind of strike a nerve, and I thought it was kind of something we should talk about. So, but yeah, like I said, I think it's something that's definitely important to understand. Like if you're starting to play in the arena of live fish, keep that information for sure. So Ed is saying the Xenotoka Izanai complex is being decimated to the lack of maintaining ESUs. Yes. So for those of you who don't know, ESUs are an evolutionary significant unit. The best way I want to talk, the best way I can describe that is say that we're both humans. I guess this is kind of the example I like to use. But there's a genetic difference between Mike being Michigan fan and someone in Ohio being Ohio State fan. Though we're both Homo sapiens, we have different genetic dispositions, one to like Michigan, one to like Ohio State. That's my simplest example of how to talk about that. But yeah, so I think I actually have all the Xenotokas, including the Izanais. I have two types of Izanais actually, and I have them separate and with locations and ESUs and all that stuff. I think some of them don't have the ESUs, but I have the location, so I could look the ESU up if I really wanted to. And they were purchased from people who know to keep the locations separate and things like that. Because we did talk about that as well, where, the one gentleman, he's a little bit older, and he was like, I only purchase fish from people I know. He's like, I only purchase fish from people who I know are keeping them the right way when you're talking about that fish. When you're talking about those types of fish, they're not mixing with other good aids. They're not doing things like that. So he's, it's a different level of the hobby, I think. If you're just keeping, your display tanks with guppies and endlers and things like that, that's one type. But then if you want to get into like the conservation aspect of the hobby, it's kind of a different game a little bit. And you've got to be really careful with the genetics and making sure, you're not mixing things and, you're keeping things pure, So it's a different, I guess I'm going to call it a responsibility. Because I think if you're playing with those types of fish, you kind of have a responsibility to, keep them pure, keep them, going well, etc. So that's kind of like my little rant about that. I was, like I said, I'm not trying to throw shade at those guys at all. It's nothing. So Select Pat said the worst thing that happened to the Xenotokas is probably people on YouTube getting Dodroy and then making people want them, and then end up mixing them up, not knowing better. Yes, that's true. Like I said, I've got a pretty good mix, or a pretty good strain of all of those. Like they're all like from reputable people. Like the Doedroy I have are from San Marcos. They're from someone who's kept them for a long time. My eyes and I are from someone who's kept them for a long time as well. And then both complexes of eyes and I that I have. So, yeah. So there's quite a few where I have separate locations, and we can, maybe when we go into the barn, we'll kind of talk about that a little bit. I can show you some of that. Yep. So the next thing I kind of want to do here is I want to kind of pop the screens up here a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and we'll play the game that we've kind of that we've kind of invented over the last couple of weeks here. So let me pull that up real quick, and it's kind of a good game because it kind of gets you into the mind of someone who's not a hardcore fish hobbyist. So let me pull that up real quick. Just give me one moment. I got to play with some screens and stuff, so just give me 1 second. I've not gotten to the point where I am 100% fast on the screens. So, all right. So we do have here now. We have the Are They Basic, and then let me pull up I got to pull up YouTube again. All right. So we got the Are They Basic? Hopefully the music's okay. It's not too loud, not too quiet. So we got the Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane. I think Branton Lightcap came in as well. So we'll play the game today of Are They Basic? So this is basically a non-fish keeper's view on the fish we keep. So basically this was derived from a book from my daughter. She gave me this for Christmas one year. And can't see, oh, that's right, I'm not on the thing. So gave this to me for Christmas one year. And she basically rates all my fish on how basic or not basic they are. So, all right, so go ahead here and we'll flip kind of, I'm on the wrong screen, of course. So we'll flip to the rules here. So I'll show you a picture of the fish. Guess in chat how basic they are between 1 to 10. 1 is very basic, 10 is cool. After a few moments, I'll show you how she answered it. So I think last week's were a little too easy. So I picked some harder ones this week. So let me go ahead here and I'll show you kind of what I picked. So this first one here, this is the Red Terror. Something that I normally would not keep, but you actually see one get auctioned off though in the video coming up this week. It's kind of basically an overview of our club meeting. So go ahead and let me know between 1 to 10 what you guys think this fish will be. So Branton's got 6. Zen is 4. So Skull's got 4 as well. So Davo's got 4. Fish Tactics got 7. Empire of Dirt, Jeff Kane's got 4. Alan's got 5. Scott has 4. Hey Scott, let me know if you're gonna still be in Florida next week at all. Maybe we'll hook up. So hello Audra, how are you? So give it a few more seconds here for folks to join or to guess. So, all right. Blind date 5. It has a great possibility. for true. So, all right. Going once. Going twice. Sold. 4 out of 10. So anyone who guessed 4, which I think quite a few folks did. So we got Scott, Jeff, Skull, Zen Ginger, and Davo all guessed 4. So good job on that one. So Scott is driving back starting on the 27th. Okay. So it'd have to be earlier in the week then. Okay. All right. Um, so let's go ahead then and go to the next fish here. This is the Manjano cichlid. Pretty colorful African cichlid. One that you'll find actually in my fish room in the big 245 gallon tank. So I always get messed up with YouTube and the delay. So I still haven't gotten over that since I've started streaming again. So Zen's got 8, Davo's got 8, Branton's got 8, Skull's got 6. It's got stripes 9. Ed's Aquatics has 7. Fish Tactics got 8. Alec, hello Alec, how are you? 5. Jeff Kane's got 8. Otter's got 8. Scott's got 8. Trying to remember what this one was. So. Anyone else want in? We'll give it another few seconds here. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll flip the. So Zen, so new folks coming in, we're voting on how basic. Yep. Thank you, Zen. I appreciate it. All right. These have been kind of so far. They've not been as mean as I thought they would be. These were the ones that I picked up. That actually the kid, I'm gonna call him the neighbor kid, but he's not really a neighbor. He gave me one of these, and then I ended up getting some more of them. So she ranked that 9 out of 10. So I think someone did get 9. So yep, Alan's got 9. So it's got the stripes. So anyone else do 9? No. Nope. So no one else got 9. So all right, let's go ahead here and we'll flip it to the next one now. So I figured I would try a shrimp. So this is some type of Caridina shrimp. I think this was one I may have used as a thumbnail on my Garden of Eder video. So, what do you guys think of the Caridina shrimp? So Zen's got 7. So 7 for Fish Tactic. Otter's got 6. Davo's got 5. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting to, how she views some of these. I think it's kind of a fun little game. I think especially if you were like owning a fish store, like if you were looking like what fish to buy, it's kind of the same thing. Like if I were to own a fish store, what would I stock it with? It kind of goes that way. So we've got a bunch of 8s there. Davo had 5. Alan's got 7. So Ed's got 5. Let's see. We'll give it another couple seconds here, and then we'll go ahead and flip it. All right. Go ahead, going once, going twice. 6 out of 10. So kind of liked it, kind of didn't. So Audra got that one. Let me see anyone else. 6. Nope. So shrimp. Let's go ahead and we'll flip the next one now. So the Calvis. So fish, unfortunately, I don't have in my fish room anymore, but definitely another cool fish. So it's hard because it's not what you think. It's kind of like what the next generation thinks, and it's someone who's like a not fish keeper. So someone who's no, Steven, it's partially my fault too. You probably didn't get notified from like fishfam.link. It just sort of yeah, I forgot I made it private for some reason. I kind of messed up. So I think a lot of people are gonna find it late. So so yeah, so all right, let me see. So Zen Ginger's got 3, Steven's got 2, Fish Tactics got 2, Skull's got 7, Audra's got 4, Branton's got 5, Alex got 10, Scott's got 7, Ed's got 3, Davo's got 7. Let's think about that. Let me see. Do I want to get? Yep, Alan's got 5. Okay. Anyone else want in on that? Yep. While we're waiting, I've got a question for Scott Nowoselsky. So I know he's local to my club. He kind of spends part of the time here in Michigan and part of the time in Florida. What's your kind of optimal time to leave Florida to get through Atlanta without it being an absolute train wreck? What was it? It was 2 years ago we went to Florida, and we got stuck in Atlanta at the wrong time, and it was an absolute nightmare. I think it took us like 5 hours to get through it. So, yeah, what's your strategy to not like want to like blow your brains out driving through Atlanta? So that's a random question, I know, but I figured since we're waiting, I'd ask that. So, anyways, the Calvis gets a 7 out of 10. Very surprising. I was surprised by this one. Considering how she ranked some of the other Lake Tanganyikan cichlids, like the shell dwellers, you know, with the creepy. So Scott, going from Florida back to Detroit. So what's like the best time to leave? Like, I'm good going down. We hit it at a good time going down. Like I have like my optimum stopping spot, which is McDonough, Georgia, which is south of Atlanta. So we hit Atlanta. We hit Atlanta like late in the evening, like after the rush hour and everything. It works out pretty good. Like usually like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, which is pretty good. But on the way back, it's worse. So you hit it like just at the wrong time. So yeah, I was surprised. I was very surprised. Yeah, Atlanta's horrendous if you go at the wrong time. I mean, like I said, it seemed like it was like 5 hours in Atlanta. Like we got there at 3 and it was like 8. So yeah, I thought she was going to rank this worse too. And I kind of set it up for her to rank it worse, and then she kind of didn't. So, all right, I think this one's the last one. This is the Cockatoides. So, yeah, I thought she was going to just annihilate that one, but no, she didn't do it. So Cockatoides. So she's got 10 for the Zen Ginger. Branton's got 9. Audra has 10. Davo has 9. Skull has 8. Ed has 8. Ellen has 10. Maybe I should actually get her to come on live. She's got a class right now, but maybe after her class is over, maybe one of these times I'll have her come on and do this. And have her actually talk about what she thinks about them. So, I think we got Davo with 9, Skull has 8, Ed has 8, Alan has 10. So I think her class probably goes through May, kind of like school does. So because she takes a college class on Tuesday nights. So she's a pretty busy person right now. She's like the student representative to the school board. Since this is her senior year, so they pick one student to um, represent the school on the school board. So um, yeah, so she's been doing that. So it's been interesting. I think she's learned a lot. Um, I'll say it's been a fairly eventful last few months with the school board. I'm not going to talk about it on the stream, but there's some grading things that the school's kind of changing in the middle of the semester, which has gotten some people in an uproar a little bit. And I think I did talk about the stabbing a little bit too, which I mean I think everyone's fine from that. The kid recovered. I think that kind of is the school's kind of moved on from that. Actually, rather quicker than I thought it would. But yeah, so she's got definitely some experience with conflicts and listening to some angry parents and how to deal with that and things like that. Okay, so he drives to Ringgold, Georgia. Okay. Okay. I gotcha. Okay. I don't remember. I have to look where Ringgold, Georgia is. But yeah, I know on the way down my go to is McDonough. So I think we've got the Cockatoides. We got Steven, I think, with a 7 and Alec with an 8. If I missed anyone, let me know. But so she did 7. So Steven got that one. Um, she liked the Calvis better. So that's kind of an interesting thing. So, all right. So with that, we've talked quite a bit in the basement today. So let me go out and we'll go ahead and head out to the barn now. I'll show you the projects. I did do a little project this weekend as well. So I'll show you that. I'll show you the new fish I picked up at the fish store, and so yeah, she must like the brown. So, yeah, so Scott's, it's halfway. Okay, so it's kind of like north, all right, kind of like North Georgia, kind of south of Chattanooga then. How I don't trust her, yes. So it's kind of interesting because it's it's hard to gauge, this is what kind of makes this fun because you don't really know what to think. So, um, all right. So I'm gonna go head out to the barn. We'll talk about some, the project stuff. Show you some new fish, and then we'll go from there. So I figured, today would be a good day to pick the Amica Splendens for the barn cam. So, yeah. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'll flip to the barn cam now, and then I'll meet you outside here in a couple minutes. All right, so we're back in the barn. Let me pull the camera off here, and we'll head upstairs real quick just to check and make sure all the stuff is working, and then we'll go ahead and go from there. All right, we'll head upstairs real quick just to make sure all of our stuff is working. All right. All right. So, so let me know if the audio video good. Okay. So since we're here, Audra asked, or Zen asked, sorry, I wonder if how she would rate a giant gourami. That's a true test of how weird your tastes are. Yes. Giant gourami would definitely be a good one. Anyone? I have not captive pipe fish, saltwater or freshwater, unfortunately. So, all right, since we're up here, let me show you the new fish first. So, I ended up. I've been wanting for some reason now, like I had them before, but I've been wanting the Jarnus metallicus, specifically the black form. And so the local fish store actually had them. So you can see like the male right here. So I put them in with these platies. I've got a few straggler Variatus platies. So let me find the metallicus again. I lost them. There he is right there. So, nice male. I got a few of them. So I got, looks like not all of them made it though. No, I thought I got 3 pair. Looks like there's at least 4 left still, 4 or 5. Oh, yeah, there's 4 or 5 left. Okay, they were just hiding in the weeds. So picked up those guys. Like I said, I really like the black form. That's kind of like my favorite. You got another little guy right there. So they were kind of small. But he told me a while ago that he had these. Like apparently someone brought in a whole bunch of them. So one of the things I kind of want to work on this year is breeding more numbers of fish. Like I'm good at kind of breeding a few fish, like for the BAP program, but I'm not really good at breeding large numbers of them. So, so that's one thing that I really kind of want to work on, and that kind of drove. We talked a little bit last week about how I moved the Stan Schubel guppies into this tank. That's kind of one of the reasons. Like I want to make a bunch more of these. Get some more of these like heirloom fish out to some people. So that's one of the main reasons. So Cripps, I said he could never get his to breed. Like I had really good luck with them as long as I kept them heated. So let me make sure you guys are looking at something decent. And then Zen said Cripps and hair algae is my kind of aqua seed. Yeah, that's kind of not my best tank. So so Audra, they bred like rabbits. So I think it kind of, I guess, I don't know. So that's the black form. I actually do have the yellow form downstairs as well. So I kind of got both flavors. I think people have different luck with different fish. I mean, like I've had good luck with those Schubel guppies, but these albino ones I can't get to breed to save my. That's not really what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you. I bought a bunch more of these Pasilia butleri. There's a really good male right there. He had some really good males. If you see the back of the fin, has a really nice orange color to it. So yeah, so these really kind of came out quite nicely. So I was pretty happy with that. So I may put these guys out in a pond next year or in the summer. I got to see kind of how the pond roster looks, but I may put these guys outside in a tub, see how they do. So one thing like I've talked about, I think before, like this barn gets kind of seasonal. Like you can kind of tell, when it's kind of turned spring. You can see like the activity level on the fish. Like these, see Galaxy. What are these? They're not CPDs. They're glow light Danios. But their activity was a little bit slower, kind of in the winter months, and now they're buzzing around the tank. And I still have that deformed platy in here that he'll just kind of live his days out in there. So heading downstairs. So Plecos are doing the baby Plecos are doing well. So they've still put on some size. There's still quite a few in here. You got to kind of look for them, but they're around. I lost one. All right. I think I lost one of them. All right, that happens. Yeah, so let's go kind of talk about the project now as well. So yeah, we'll stop and take a look. Yeah, I know someone brought up Xenotoka. So this is one that not a lot of people have. This is the Xenotoka melanosoma. And these guys have been out quite a bit now that the weather's turned. So you can see these guys kind of out and about. So hopefully they'll drop some fry here pretty soon. I really like to get some more of these going. But I really want to talk about the project here. So if you remember, so this is the tank with the Tropheus. And I think I talked last week about removing the pond here. So that pond has now been removed. So I got that pond out completely. There was a little bit of aftermath, but it actually wasn't too bad. Kind of did it like Friday evening-ish. Didn't take me too long. Actually, the hardest part was hooking up the plumbing because, unfortunately, we'll go into the abyss here. That elbow, it literally took me like an hour because like I can't reach back there because I have short arms, and it kind of came off, and it was really hard to get that back on. So, and I actually did find a fish in there. There was a fish in there that I didn't know was in there. So I'll show you him too. So I found another bulldog Gadaean in here, and I don't have the location for him anymore. Kind of going back to the importance of location. So I didn't put him with the other ones that I have, and I know he's not the same location as the other ones, but he was kind of living his days out in the pond, and I'd kind of forgotten about him, honestly. He was kind of just eating whatever came through, I guess, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. But when I was taking the tub down, I found him swimming around in there. So, yeah, so this guy's living in here with the rainbow fish and the rainbow cichlid. So he's kind of, doing his thing here. But you can see how big this fish gets. This is a Gadaean, and he's a good 5-6 inches long. Like he's bigger than those rainbows are not small. And the rainbow cichlids, he's every bit as big as they are. You can see the rainbow cichlid up with them right there. So, that's what you should do with like fish that are not like location. If you don't have a location for him, so like, he's gonna live his days out in here. The one problem with him is like he eats fry, so I don't want to put him in a tank where there'll be like a lot of fry because I don't want him to like gorge himself on fry. So, I think he can just chill out here in this kind of catch-all tank with some rainbow cichlids, some rainbow fish, and do his thing. see what other fish I kind of want to talk about. Um, yeah, I was almost going to put it on this tank today for the bar cam for when I walked out here, but this tank's doing well now. There was a couple losses after I treated it with the disease, but you can see there's plenty of babies in here, and this is one that I'm pretty happy with. I was pretty happy with being able to get all those fish from that gentleman. So definitely one of my favorites. So, but like trout goodies are like one of the few that you can't. There's not a lot of location information. There's just the strain, so they've kind of become guppified. You can see some of them are more yellow than others, but like I said, they're kind of a mutt. It's kind of a mutt group, but pretty happy to have all those fish. Um, yeah, I mean, let me see anything else. I mean, I think we talked about this last week in the albinos, but yeah, this is one I'm probably going to stick out in a tub this year. These Chapelixes encaustus. Um, I've had these breed before, but this group hasn't bred in a long time, so this is one I want to kind of pop out there too. Oh, there's another new fish I didn't that that I'll show you as well. But I got at the fish club meeting, so I got some OB peacocks to go with this group of other cichlids in here. So there were four of them, and I only see two of them right now. They're probably hiding out somewhere. So, but you got these. I got these little OB peacocks. So kind of a different mix in here. So hopefully those will color up a little bit and be good to go. So maybe they're hiding out somewhere. You see, something's dug a pit over here too. So I don't know what fish has done that, but you can see the Mangiano cichlids in here that have um, where'd he go? That we were talking about on the game, and they've kind of just made themselves at home with all the other star sapphires. They kind of hang out with them. So there's been kind of some groups here. So all the yellow labs kind of hang out in the back, and then all the peacocks kind of hang out in the front. It's kind of a weird, little dynamic here. But a lot of times what I'll do is I'll feed. Like when I feed, I make sure to feed the front and the back so that each group of fish kind of has its own food. So, and then I'll show you. This is the location of the bulldog gadids that I know I have the location information for. So these are from Lago de Zacapu in Mexico, but they're not as big as the one that I just showed you, but they're pretty big fish. So, all right, so let's head upstairs. And then over here is the other Metallicus, the yellow form. This doesn't show up very well on camera. They're like right up against the side. But I want to get these going too, and I want to get these platies going because these have turned out quite nice. So I want to see if I can get some drops from these platies. I might actually take like a female platy and put her in another tank and see if I can get some fry. Let me see. All right, so it's 8:55. Yeah, so Ed's Melanizoma has dropped twice this year. All right, so I'll pop you guys at a tank over here. Maybe. I'll kind of catch up with some comments, and then we'll go from there. So, all right. Just saw that orange. That's pretty from Zen. So Edzamel and Azoma have dropped twice this season so far. That's good. Mine have kind of been on the struggle bus, so they're gonna go out in the tub too for sure. Oh, I'd not give you the best view in the world. So, hello, Seville Steve. Thank you for joining. You may have been here for like 10 minutes by now. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the comments. Just people saying hello. So let me go ahead. Mike Reardon says, "Do you have how fast do the red-tailed split-fin Zinatoga Dodroi grow?" My colony has doubled since the first of the year. They do grow pretty fast. We can go take a look at those real quick before we head back inside. All right, so these are the Dodroi. Yeah, there was not a lot of colorful males at the beginning of the year for me. There were a lot of smaller ones, but you can see now. Let me slide a little closer. Yeah, so I mean, there's quite a few. This colony's put on quite a bit of size over the past few weeks and few months. So yeah, I think that's definitely doable. But yeah, these guys, you can see the smaller ones over here, in all the guppy grass. So yeah, so I'm gonna definitely clean out some guppy grass here soon too, and get that, put those in the tubs. So since we're here, so we kind of talked about the Zenatoga Eisenai complex. Like the how how you need to be careful of location. So like I have the information from that fish, right? This is the Eisenai that I have, or the Dodroi that I have here, from San Marcos. And Kurt Bitterling is someone who's very very well known in the live bear circles and known for having good fish. And then these are the Lion's Eye. These are actually from Dr. John Lyon's fish room. I got these from Josh Cook. This is another one that's going to go out and have a visit to the tubs as well. I bred an aquarium strain of these before, and they didn't breed in the fish room, but they did breed outside the tubs. So that's going to be another tub fish for me. And then I think I've shown you quite a few times the Eisenai from Nayarit, which are these guys right here. These are like the original Gideads in the hobby. And then downstairs are some from Rio Compostela. So, and then again, look at the information here. And then there's I know it's really small on here, but there's like the story of those fish. So, so you want to keep all of that information. Going back to kind of the earlier topic, is you want to make sure you keep all of that stuff. So, Alec, is the Bulldog Gidea the largest? Yes. Close second is the Gidea Atropinus. But yeah, there's a specimen at the Shed Aquarium that is about a foot long or so. So yeah, that one can get very, very big. And also, I think I said this earlier, but it does like to eat fish. So it is a piscivore, so you definitely want to keep that away from your fry. So it is 9 o'clock, so I'm going to head inside, and we'll go ahead and we'll talk a little bit. We'll answer some last minute questions, and then we can go ahead and go from there. Fish Mondos asked me, what are the thoughts on the fire ring Danios? I'd have to look those up and see. I've not seen those. So I'll look those up when I get inside, and I'll let you know what I think of them. All right, so I'm back. So let me look that fish up real quick. Um, Let me see. What do I think of the Firing Daniel? Actually, kind of a cool looking fish. So, not bad. So, let me pull up the chat here. So, Ed says it's nice to see fellow hobbyists maintaining all the information. Yes. I've been very. There's a few out here. Like Michigan area is kind of at one point in time was the center of a lot of the G'day stuff. So there's a few people out here that are keeping all the info. So, yeah, they look pretty cool. Fishmodo, so or Fishmondo, so definitely some. They were pretty cool. But yeah, so I mean, there's quite a few folks around here in these parts keeping all the information. So there's a good small group. So it's a pretty good small group of folks here keeping all the information. So like I said, if you're a member, if you watched my talk at all, you know what? I'll gift some memberships today. I need to do that. So. So I'll go ahead and I'll give 5 memberships for today. But so if you go and watch my talk, it's on the members part of the stream. There's a part where I talk about where I was watching who got the members. So Tout Poison, Chris Goody, Andrew R. Outside In Aquatics, and Uncle Smiley's Aquariums got memberships. So so hello Foxy, how are you? So yeah, so basically, if you go watch my talk, I talk about how the G'dayids all kind of originated from Michigan. There's a couple of slides where, I talk about how they came from Robert Rush Miller at the University of Michigan, and then they went through Jim Langhammer, who was the curator of the Belle Isle Aquarium, and then they kind of got distributed from there to kind of like the next generation after that. So that's a kind of an interesting piece of my talk. So you're welcome, Chris. Yeah, so that's kind of one of the probably the best parts of the membership on the channel is if you go watch my talk, there's quite a lot of good information on G'dayids there. So yeah, so I figured I'd gift the memberships to some folks to make sure some more people see that. So with that, I mean, I think we're at 9:05. Let me see if Bentley's going or not. I don't see Bentley on, so we can go for a couple more minutes, I guess. If you've got any more fish questions, go ahead and let me know. So, and then for those of you who came in late, there will not be a stream next week because I will be in Florida. So I'll be doing the Bentley canceled. Okay, so I'll be in Florida next week, so there won't be a stream. I'll be either on the beach, on the golf course, or maybe I'll go fish collecting. I don't know. So I'll be doing one of those things. Or just hanging out with my kids. Maybe we'll go do putt or who knows what. So yeah. So okay. So yeah. So we have a few minutes left then. If you guys want to talk about something else. So. Yeah. So how dare I go to Florida? Yeah. I kind of wish now we would have flown, but driving's fine. So, how often do I hatch baby brine shrimp? I have the hatchers. I am very lazy about doing it. Like I said, I have done it. I go on very limited spells, like where I'll be excited about doing it, and then for a few weeks, and then I'll get kind of sick of it. I do that a lot with live foods. Like if I don't have anything to really feed it for, like I'll get sick of it, and then I won't feed it anymore. Like I did that with, I think my like microworms and banana worm cultures have kind of crashed out too because I'm just too lazy to make more, basically. Like I said, I don't really have anything I need to feed them to. The vinegar eels are a little easier, so I'm sure I'll keep those. Just maybe I'll sell the starters for those. Um, but yeah, so I do hatch it. It's just I should probably hatch it more. I just don't. Especially now with the Magic Nano feed, um, I've been kind of lazy about the brine shrimp. So Foxy says, which eggs do I prefer? I like the co-op ones. I've had pretty good luck with those, so I just buy the co-op ones with the powder. I should have refrigerated them. I didn't, but I just have them in the barn and they sit on the shelf, and I'll get to them when I do it. But actually, I've just been feeding the Magic Nano feed. So, yeah, I just mix up some salt water and go from there. So and I use the Ziss hatchers too. So like I have the setup for it. I just don't. I get lazy and I don't do it, and I get busy, and then like I said, this last 4 or 5 days or so has been pretty busy. So yeah, so I get busy, and then obviously I'm going on vacation, so um, I'm not going to really mess with any of that right now. I guess the one thing I will say is, from a feeding perspective on location, when I go on vacation, I actually don't feed anything. The one thing I will do is for the baby plecos that we saw a little bit earlier, I will throw in some root tabs for those guys, and then those will break down over a few days, and then those guys should be okay. So oh yeah, Otter, you can't. Yeah, that's true. He's out of the eggs right now, due to shipping containers and things like that. Um, I actually both of the stores that I went to are co-op partner stores, and I didn't look to see if we had brine shrimp or not. Like I said, I'm too lazy to do it. But a lot of my fish have done pretty well with the Magic Nano feed. Um, I've been starting to feed that more and more to some of the fry. So I'll do that. So I mean, I guess since the folks are here, I need to feed the fish anyway. So I guess we'll go through. If you guys want, let me know if you want me to. If you guys want to stay on, we can go ahead and we'll go feed the fish. Well, since I have to do that anyway. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So, since we've got a few folks on and we've got the time, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll head back out to the barn, and I'll do this as quickly as I can with one hand. So, and I'll show you the brine shrimp hatchers as well. I mean, since people are here, we still have got a good number of folks on. So we'll go back out to the barn. We'll feed the barn real quick, and we'll go from there. Since I have to do it anyway. So, all right, just give me another couple minutes. I'm back for a moment. Not the best picture in the barn cam, but all right, let's do this again. So I fed the Magic Nano feed. I'll feed it to one other fish since we're here, but I fed it to these guys, these red volcano endlers, and you can see there's still some in the water, even though it's been like 2, 3, 4 minutes. Fed it to these Crocodile Audax from Los Pinos, and you can see the two of the babies back there. They've actually put on quite a bit of size. So hopefully I can get another drop of these pretty soon. Yeah, this is a pretty, I think there's 4 in here. It would be really nice to get 6 so I could bap them, but I don't have 6. And then we'll feed one of the other Endler groups since I was negligent. Like we'll feed these black bars. I also fed these Dwarf Mary Widows too. You can see a couple of the. Hopefully, you can see a couple of little freshmen around in there as well. So, all right. So, all right. And also, so let's talk about the food that I do kind of normally feed. This is a mix of the Extreme Nano or the Extreme Krill Flake, the Extreme Spirulina, the Bug Flake. Forgot what it's called. So Ed's got 2 drops from the Los Pinos in June. They've dropped 4 to 5 times since. Cool. So the Soulfly flake, the Soulfly flake, and then I also add some blackworm flake as well that I get from Cunningham Tropicals. So with that, let's go ahead and start kind of feeding out the rest of these guys. And you're gonna hear the dehumidifier come back on because it comes back on at like 9:20. So so sorry for the noise. We got the Brachyraphis rosenei right here. Take a look at those. It's really pretty fish. So we'll feed those. We got some Xiphophorus variatus from Rio Cole Kilco and some Chilotherina blaheri. You see those guys are really going for the food. I might move these downstairs into the tank with the other rainbow fish, but we'll see. Yeah, you can see like how well this floats in the water. Let me get a little closer. You can see how well that the Magic Nano feed's like floating in the water and staying like suspended in the water column. All right, so we'll go quickly here. This is Stack Endlers. These guys are Brachyraphis rosswithae. And I'm gonna pop the lights. All right. Moving right along. Alodonyctes tamazulae, another one I might try in the tubs this year. Hawaiian Variatus platies, one of my favorites actually. I really like these guys. The next tank here, we've got some Xiphophorus milleri and some Poecilia gili. So you've got a couple of the Xiphophorus milleri right here, and then a bunch of these Poecilia gili, which are kind of a nice little wild type species. I got from Dan's Fish. You know, there's a lot. There's talks about how Dan's so expensive, but look at all the fry in here from those. I paid quite a bit for those back in the day, but there's now quite a few fry. So definitely say I think they were worth the money. Down here, we've got the Xenotoca variata, and these guys kind of smack on the top. I'll let you listen for a second. Watching the top, you can see them kind of smack. They're like really loud, but they're really pretty. I really like these guys. And this tank is really taking off plant too. There's a bunch of dwarf sag and some val in here, and it's really plant-wise, it's really like greened up. So kind of cool. Give me 1 second. I gotta pop my mic back on. All right. Next up here, we have the Scyphia multipunctata. Ooh, fry. Look at that. All right, cool. Look at that. Haven't seen a fry. Oh, look at a bunch of them. Look at that. Nice. Good job. Holy crap. Look at all of them. Dude, there's like 20 in here. Wow. I knew one of the females was getting big, and they're not eating them either. Look at that. Wow. Well, that made my day. Look at all of them. They're all over the place in here. There's like 30 of them. Wow. All right, then. All right. Next up, Xiphophorus kalmani, bronze swordtail. I need to get some more of those. But really cool, kind of wild type sword. Next up here, we've got the Zoogeneticus tequila. Kind of talked about that fish earlier in the stream. Should actually show you these. These are Corydoras aeneas. We've got the Yucatan sailfin molly, and they're all underneath the stuff right now. Oh, this is at least one, and then there's a bunch of the swordtails up there. They're the painted swords. And then down here we've got Liberty mollies. Just show you kind of the top view. These guys are another fish I got from Dan, and they've been pretty prolific too, actually. All right. Fortunately, I only got one of these Xenotoca resolanae, so kind of need to find another one of these guys. Next up is Chapelixes pardalis. This is the ESU2 version. We talked about ESU numbers earlier. So this is this specific location from Presa di San Juanico. And then up next is the Poecilia catamaconis. This is kind of a newly described molly species. We'll see if they come out for the food. They're a little skittish. Hopefully they'll come over here in a minute. I already showed you these, but these are we're back around to the Crocodile Audax from Los Pinos again. They're not going to come up. They're kind of a silverish molly. For whatever reason, they're not coming out for the camera at the moment. You can see one kind of over here, maybe. Yeah. All right. Next up is the flagfin shiners that I got from our Fishy Bingo event. So feed those guys. Next up here, we have panda guppies. Sorry for any glare. Let me see if that glare is kind of bad. But some panda guppies. I already showed you the red volcano endlers. These are Pasilia vivipara, which they're all at the top. So we'll show you those guys at the top. Unfortunately, they're not going to be at the bottom right now. All right. Next up are the marble swords. And again, you can see they all kind of come to the top, unfortunately. So, all right, there's a southern molly again. So, Foxy's Fish asked, "Do I have any one-sided live bearers?" No, I don't have any of the Genesia ansa. That'd be one that if I saw one, I would buy it immediately. But I do not have any right now. So, all right. So, let's see if this guy's in here. There's only kind of one fish in here. This is the Xiphophorus ophidium. Sorry, I've been going. So I'm kind of going kind of quick because I don't want the lights to run out. This is the Pasilia chica, or the dwarf molly. These are some double sword guppies. Let me find the male for you. Oh, he went up the top. But there are some fry in here. You can see. If I see the male again, I'll be back. We talked about this one a lot tonight, so we'll skip that one real quick. But that's the Stan Schubel blue guppies. So let's see the females there. I am shocked about the Scyphia multipunctata. So we talked about these a little bit, but these are the Xenotoca lion's eye. Up next to them are the Xenophallus umbratilis, another little micro live bear. They're probably hiding amongst all the stuff right now in here. So, there you go. You can see them right in the camera. They're kind of a nice little golden color. Another one I need to find some more of. This is my other group of Crocodile Audax from Los Pinos. Unfortunately, I've not seen any fry from these. This tank does not have as much cover in it, so maybe I need to add some guppy grass to make this tank kind of worse. But we'll see. And then these are the blue Hawaiian Moscow guppies, which right now I only have females, so hopefully I'll get some more drops from these. All right, this is the Xenotoca Dodori that we talked about a little while ago. And then up next here, these are the Chapelixes pardalis. The second group, you notice that this ESU is different. This is Chapel 1. And this one's actually a pretty hard location to find. I don't think many people have this fish. So I know of one other person that has these. I mean, I'm sure there's others, but this is why you keep the locations because this fish's swimming area was made into this fish's habitat was made into a swimming area. So you really want to keep this, separate because, not like I said, not many people have that. Up next here is Limia Perugia from La Anzufrada, and the glare's bad on this tank. I apologize. Along with some Melanitania praecox as well. So, and then up next from these guys, you've got the Gerardus metallicus that we talked about, along with the Xiphophorus variatus from Rio Coco. So Foxy, let me know where the one-sided libraries will be available from. Kind of curious. So this kind of curious. Um, Next up was the Pueblo platy, Xenophilus, Xiphophorus avellanei. Sorry, tell it's getting late. All right, Xiphophorus avellanei. All right, the food. Next up here is the Xenotoca eiseni from Nayarit. These are kind of smacking up there too. See those guys there. Um, Up next here's the Pasilia picta. You can see a couple of them right here. They're kind of lost amongst all the guppy grass. And then up here is the albino koi guppies. Not much has happened with them. The next we have the Green Lantern platies and the glow light danios. And then we've got some orange swordtails right here. These are the Xiphophorus helleri with just basically like orange with a white belly. We've got some Vienna guppies here. I've had bad luck with getting these to breed, but we'll see. And then we have the Pasilia butleri that we talked about earlier. So feed those guys, and then I think that's it for the downstairs. So let me close up all my fish food. So yeah, let me know who has the, if you have the Genesia Ansa, let me know. So let me do a drink. Let me close up my Magic Nano feed. All right, cool. I was a little worried because I didn't see many of these Yucatan sailfin mollies, and they're out now. So I was like, I still can't believe all of these fry. I mean, there's like, I swear to God, there's like 30 of them in here. I'm still like blown away by that. Like these fish haven't bred ever, and now they've literally exploded. So I'm wow, I'm excited about that. That might be one of the biggest Gadea drops I've ever had. I think the Doedroi have done one like that too, but yeah, that's one of the biggest ones. So downstairs, we feed the same thing. The one thing I do feed differently is I do feed pellets to the larger fish. So let me. This is basically the extreme what is it? Big Fella pellets, and then I did recently buy some. Um, what was it? Northfin veggie. So we'll feed that first. So what I like to do with these is I like to feed the front. So like we're in here, like I like to feed these guys in the front. You see these guys, and then I'll throw some into the back so that the fish in the back get some. I'm actually going to throw some more on the other side too. It's go under the cape here. So, and that's the 245 gallon kind of mixed African cichlid tank. Next up, we have the Tropheus Mapungu. So, you guys see that real quick. I know I'm going kind of fast. Like I said, I don't want to run out of light. So, and then up next, we're going to do the Tropheus Mallorio Red Morai. So, what? All right, then the last fish we're going to feed with the pellets are going to be the rainbow cichlids. Then I'll come back and hit this with flake too. So we'll feed a little bit of pellets to those. You see the G'day will eat those the pellets too. So a little more in there. And then we'll come back with all the flake. This should be a little bit quicker because there's fewer of these. So all right, so it's the same mix. So let's go ahead and get started here. Next, this first tank here is the Iliodon whitey eye and the Allophorus robustus, which is the bulldog G'day. See those guys again. This is the other group of Eiseni from Rio Compostela. These guys are still pretty little. This title has been pretty loud in here. And unfortunately, this tank looks like crap right now again. I've been trying to work on this tank, but this is the Pseudochronabulus nicolsi. We'll look at this from the top maybe. I'm sorry if it's loud over here. And then we've got the Shelleys, Neolampologus similis. You can see there's a ton of babies in the back, especially over here if you look back there. So get that going. This next one's a hodgepodge tank of everything under the sun. There's some Ember tetras in here, Bosemani rainbows, and then kind of catch all of everything else. So, and some more guppy grass, which I'll have to get rid of. All right. Next up here is the Xiphophorus helleri Guntheri from the Golden Stream in Belize. There's a few fry in here from these guys as well. This is the Melanosoma we talked about earlier. This is the tank with the high fin platies and Jarnus metallicus. Next up is the Cracodon audax from El Toboso. This is the Black Prince, kind of the one I think everyone knows and loves. And then up here is the Cyprochromis leptosoma blue flash. This is the fish that's kind of in the video behind me. Probably my favorite fish here in the fish barn. So you can see there's a ton of crypts here as well. All right. We'll feed the betta. And we'll feed the baby plecos real quick. I think we saw these earlier, so you can see one of the babies right there. They'll kind of eat off the bottom. Sorry, they'll kind of eat off the bottom. I know I'm going quick. Up next is mixed Lake Tanganyikan tank. Paracyprochromis nigropinis, Lamprologus ornatopinis, and then kind of some random sips and stuff in here as well that are just kind of catch-all. Up next is Antenobis toweri from Al Aljui Spring. You can see there's some albino ones in here. And then there's a ton that are kind of just living in the hornwort. Chapeleuctes encaustus, really pretty fish. The hornworts actually kind of helped with the algae problems in this tank. So really pretty, really enjoy this fish. All right. These guys are really skittish, but these are the Callichromis macrops. And then down here are the Ameca splendens. So those. All right. Up next here, Troutgoniids, Iliodon furcidens. And this is kind of a feeding frenzy. We'll let you guys watch that for a minute. All right, up here is the Epiplates rolofi, Epiplates degeti. So these guys are actually where you can see them. They're usually not out very much. So a little killifish. And then next over here is the Limia isli, tiger limias. And then there's actually an L204 flash pleco down there. And then we're going to feed the rainbow fish in this tank right here. And then we've got the Cyprochromis leptosoma from Carege Island. And also we have the Neolamprologus similis in here as well. And I thought these guys would kind of stay in their lane and kind of some stay at the bottom, some stay on top, but that's not kind of how this has been working. So I'm kind of curious how that'll turn out. All right, last two. Another group of Antenobis toweri. This one is from Laguna Los Antiajitos. I see there's a ton of Java moss in here, some crypts in here as well. So, and then the last tank we've got here is Cyprochromis leptosoma. Blue neon, I believe. It's shoot. This is one of the few tanks I haven't labeled. Drawn a blank on it. It's getting late. But another group of sips. I have the location in my computer. I'm drawing a blank right now. I apologize. But this got down to like 2 fish, but now I've got quite a few fried. So that's all the tanks. I know it was kind of rapid fire, but I didn't want to run out of light. So let me go up and check on the chat real quick, and then I'm actually going to take the camera with me. I'll probably leave you guys outside the door real quick, and then head inside, and we can finish up. So, all right, all right. So, all right. So let me go ahead. We're gonna close this up real quick. Up here, I'll take the camera with me, and we'll head inside and kind of wrap it up. These lights go off at 10, and I don't want to be stuck out here in the dark. So, all right, time to head outside into the dark. So it's nice and warm out tonight too. So no animals. So it's good. I'm gonna leave you guys at the table, and then we'll go finish up. So be right back. All right, so so I think that's gonna wrap it up. Let me see if there's any last minute questions here. So MNC said my lines I had fry. I think I got 6. That's cool. So Skull is putting his Yucatans out this year, so that's cool. Um, oh, they'll be in the auction with Stephen Pease. Okay, all right, cool. I will be there for those. Let me see. Yep, I know a guy with the Yucatans as well. Skull's putting them outside. That might be a good fish for outside too. Um, so Dave said nice feeding tour. So cool. So have a good night, Ed. So Scott, yeah, I'll send you an email and we can see what we can do. So I'm gonna be in Bradenton though, Scott. So I don't know how close that is to you or not, but I'll send you an email. So all right, I think I'm getting tired, and it's about 10 o'clock, so it's well past streaming time. So I do appreciate you guys coming along for the ride, and for going into overtime and doing a little bit of fish feeding for me. So yeah. So with that, thank you guys for watching, and once again, remember there's no stream next week. So with that, stay safe, stay fishy, and we'll see you later.